Our story begins with our protagonist, Leon, the hero, engages in a fierce battle against the Demon King, Belfar. After a back-and-forth battle, Leon defeats Belfar with a powerful ice spell, but in his dying moments, Belfar promises Leon that it's not over between them. However, Leon's victory against the Demon King brought peace to the world. He returned as a popular hero to the people, and the king sent for Leon. Leon was raised in an orphanage, and now he takes care of the kids living in the orphanage too. He tells one of the kids that he is going to teach her magic once he returns from the capital. Not long after this, Leon arrives at the royal castle. He is welcomed by the king and his son, Prince Shark. Surprisingly, Princess Sarah from the neighboring country is also present in the room. Apparently, the king told Sarah that Leon would be at the castle, and she wasted no time coming. After getting the introductions out of the way, Leon asks the king why he called for him. The king then tells him that Shark has informed him of a cave where monsters are still emerging from. Leon is shocked to hear this since he already defeated the Demon King Belfar. The king reveals his surprise too, and he tells Leon that this is the reason he is sending him in to investigate. In addition to this, people have been entering the cave and not coming out again. However, the king is assured that the hero has it all covered. Leon takes a moment to think about it, and he realizes that he actually needs to go since he needs to protect the citizens from harm. Leon is more particular about the kids in the orphanage, as he wants them to be safe. After going over it, Leon accepts the king's request, and he assures him that he is going to investigate the monsters. The king teases Leon about his marriage to Sarah once he returns from his mission. Sarah's face turns red in excitement when she hears this, but Leon just assumes that the king is a joker. Since Shark is the one who knows where the cave is located, the king suggests that they all rest so that they can move out the next day. Leon agrees with the king, and Sarah wishes him luck on his adventure. The following day, Leon meets with Shark. Shark shakes hands with Leon, saying how pleased he is to be joining Leon on the mission. Shortly afterward, they arrive at the supposed cave where monsters still reside. As they are about to enter, Leon urges the prince and his guards to be careful. Walking into the cave, Leon gets the weird feeling that something is wrong. He wonders if this is the reason people have been disappearing. After walking a few meters into the cave, Leon suddenly gets stabbed from behind with a poisoned sword. Leon is shocked as he turns around to see that Shark is the one who stabbed him. Leon is confused, and he demands to know what Shark is trying to do. Shark simply tells him that he is not leaving the cave alive, and this is because Shark wants to be with Sarah, but Leon is obviously in his way. Shark has cooked up a plan to make it seem like Leon's death is an accident. Leon is shocked to hear this, and he reminds the prince that he is not interested in any power or politics. All he wants is the well-being of the kids living at the orphanage. This is when Shark reveals the dark truth. Shark smiles evilly while revealing that he has killed kids. Apparently, he burned the orphanage overnight to make sure that Leon is forgotten. Leon is immediately thrown into despair, but when he tries to fight back, the prince pushes him down a deep pit inside the cave. Leon falls deep down and loses consciousness. Soon afterward, Leon wakes up to find himself still in the cave. He is shocked to be alive, but he is deeply enraged as he swears that he will never forgive Shark for what he has done. Leon decides that the first thing he needs to do is find a way out of the cave. He soon runs into a monster that he has never seen before, but Leon doesn't hesitate to take it down with his fireball magic. The monster shatters, leaving just bones, and suddenly a status screen appears in front of Leon. The system informs Leon that he just completed 1 out of 1 million tasks assigned to him. Leon is ultimately confused, but another monster soon appears behind him and he takes it down again. He is surprised when he sees that the number has increased after he took down the second monster. Leon doesn't think too much about the system as he aims to find the exit first. He soon finds the skeletons of people who have gone missing in the cave. Leon's determination to stay alive pushes him to start taking down monsters, and before he knows it, a year goes by. Even after a year, he still hasn't found the exit, but he keeps going because he is determined to take his revenge against Shark, who backstabbed him. As he defeats monsters, he starts learning new magic too. Soon afterward, he gained a magic attribute that he had never heard of in the past, which is the dark magic attribute. However, he soon realizes how great the power is. He intends to use this as his main power when fighting against Shark. Leon continues fighting, and before he knows it, 10 years go by in the dungeon. Finally, he completed the quest, and he heard a voice telling him to defeat a certain somebody. Just then, a door opens in front of him, revealing a bright light. Leon has no idea what he is stepping into, but suddenly, everything becomes dark again. He wonders if he is ever going to get the chance to reach the surface. When Leon finally opens his eyes, he finds himself in a pool of water. He looks totally different too, and looking around, the environment is not what he knows. Leon is shocked as he can only think of one question, and this is, where the hell is he? Just then, he hears a voice calling him a good punching bag. He turns around to see a red-haired dude and his other 2 minions standing in front of him. The The red-haired dude, Makabe, calls Leon a funny name, Kurobane. Leon is genuinely confused as he wonders if they are talking to him. He asks them who they are, but this angers Makabe. Makabe grabs Leon and pushes him back into the water to punish him further. Leon angrily retaliates by using water magic to throw Makabe away. Makabe's minions are shocked to see their boss on the ground like trash. Makabe gets scared looking at the cold expression on Leon's face. He and his minions waste no time running away. Leon remains confused, but then he suddenly hears a voice in his consciousness. The voice is surprised that Leon was still able to release so much power, even though his magic is suppressed. Just then, a purple light appears beside Leon, and from the light, the voice urges Leon to follow it to a private place where they can talk. Leon follows the light until they are in a place where no one can see them. The light then transforms into a cute little girl. The girl flies toward Leon and hugs him. Leon is shocked, and he grabs the girl, asking her who she is. Leon begs her to tell him what is going on around him. The girl then apologizes and introduces herself as Luna. She reveals that she is a messenger to a particular goddess. Leon remains confused, and Luna puts it in a very simple way. She is a guide for those who have died. Luna then reveals that Leon actually died when he was pushed into the hole by Shark. Apparently, he is now in a world that is totally different from the one he was originally from. Leon has taken over the body of another boy from this current world, and this is made possible thanks to the power of the goddess. After explaining everything to Leon, he calms down, but lets Luna know that everything still doesn't look real to him. Luna understands how Leon feels, but Leon assures her that he has somehow pieced together everything. Leon then asks Luna why the goddess transferred him into this world. Just then, a big energy portal opens right in front of them. Luna considers this a very good timing, and she asks Leon to follow her so she can explain better to him. They step into the portal, and on the other side is the demonic realm. Leon spots one of Belfar's monsters, a Gransaurus. The Gransaurus is a very difficult monster to defeat because of its strong barrier magic. The last time Leon fought the monster, it took him 3 days to defeat it back in his original world. Leon is tense, and Luna notices this. Luna then tells him that he is going to easily defeat the monster if he uses his newly acquired magic. This is when it dawns on Leon that he actually has a new magic attribute, the dark magic. The monster charges at Leon at great speed, but a single wave of attack from Leon using the dark magic is able to destroy the monster's impenetrable barrier. The monster realizes that it is defenseless and turns back to run, but Leon finishes it off. Luna commends Leon for a job well done, but Leon is wondering just how crazy the dark magic is. The two return to the human world, and Leon finally pieced together the real reason why he has been brought to this current world. Apparently, Belfar is also coming to this world, and the portals are the effect of the Demon King's power. Luna reveals that this world might fall to the monsters if the gate is left unchecked. Leon suddenly spots a crest on the flag, and it resembles the royal crest in his world. He wonders if Shark is also in this world. Suddenly, Luna hears someone coming, and she disappears into Leon's consciousness. Just then, Leon is approached by a white-haired girl. With a stern face and voice, the girl asks Leon if a gate appeared in the area. Luna then tells Leon to say no since they don't know who the girl is yet. Leon follows Luna's instructions and tells the girl that he didn't see any gate. The girl is shocked to hear this, and she claims that she felt the presence of a gate. Just then, the girl asked Leon if he was the one who had a fight with Makabe and his minions. Leon thinks he is going to be in trouble, but surprisingly, the girl bows to him, apologizing for what happened. The girl says she tried stopping the delinquents, but it was too late. Leon then tells the girl that she has no reason to apologize. Leon is shocked at the fact that the girl is actually a good person. Since Leon claims that he hasn't seen a gate in the area, the girl decides that it is time for her to go back to her dormitory. After her departure, Luna tells Leon that the girl is somewhat powerful because she was able to sense the gate. Later that night, Leon heads to the student dorms. On his door are papers with trash words written on them. There are students staring at him like he is the cause of their problems. However, Leon is able to figure out that the girl they met earlier is influential in the school. Leon enters his room and tells Luna that Kurobane, the boy whose body he took over, had it rough. Leon then asks Luna what the school is since it has the same crest as the one Shark wore. He wonders if Shark came into this world with the Demon King, but Luna simply tells him that she doesn't know. Luna confesses that she doesn't know everything about this current world either. She has been trying to learn everything about this current world, but it seems that the prince is not in this world. Leon then comes to the determination that he is never going to forget what Shark did, even if he is going to leave his issue aside in the meantime. Leon then cuts his hair, puts on his uniform to look like a proper student. He is ready to start acting like the previous owner of the body to avoid suspicions. The next morning, he picks up his bag and heads out like every other student. Luna explains to him that there are a few things that she knows about this world. Apparently, many years ago, mysterious spaces called gates started appearing. At the same time, people who had an affinity for magic also appeared. Many monsters emerge from the gates, but humans kill the monsters. And from the monsters, they extract valuable resources. Because of this, the number of people aiming to become seekers kept increasing. It turns out that the academy was then created to train seekers. From his classroom, Leon can see the white-haired girl on the practice field. Apparently, she is the student council president, and her name is Izumiya Mikoto. From what Leon can see, he figures out that Mikoto is pretty good with magic. Later that day, Leon runs into Makabe and his minions again. Makabe demands that Leon run an errand for him. He tells Leon to buy him bread, but Leon tells him to get it himself. This pisses Makabe off, and he mentions the fact that Leon has been acting all arrogant since the day before. Meanwhile, Mikoto comes around the corner and sees Makabe threatening Leon again. Makabe cooks up a magic spell, ready to beat the crap out of Leon. Mikoto sees this and tries to stop him since it is highly forbidden to use magic on the school grounds. However, Leon easily swallows up Makabe's spell, thanks to his dark magic attribute. Makabe is shocked, and so is the student council president. Leon just ignores Makabe and leaves. Even Mikoto is left to question what she just witnessed. After school that day, Leon received a letter from Makabe telling him to come to the training grounds. Luna urges Leon to forget about Makabe, but Leon points out the fact that Makabe will never stop coming after him if he doesn't put him in his place. Luna agrees to this, and she excitedly suggests that they go beat Makabe up. Leon urges Luna to stay hidden while he engages the delinquent. Leon makes his way to the training ground, where he finds Makabe and his two minions waiting for him. Makabe is surprised that Leon actually came, and he lets him know that they are going to engage in a one-on-one battle. Makabe claims that he wants to teach Leon a lesson since he has been acting all arrogant. Leon agrees to the duel but tells Makabe never to disturb him again if he wins. Makabe is surprised to hear Leon making threats because the boy he knew was always so gentle. Leon urges Makabe to come after him and stop with the long conversation. Just then, Makabe tells his guys to attack Leon. The two of them come at Leon from opposite directions. Makabe laughs at Leon, telling him that he lied about the battle being a 1 versus 1. Leon is not surprised as he is already expecting something like that from a trash like him. Leon activates his magic and easily deflects the attack coming toward him. Makabe's minion fell to the ground, writhing in pain. Makabe is shocked, and Leon walks toward him looking really scary. He tells Makabe that he has promised himself never to fall for a sneak attack again. In addition to this, he is prepared to beat the crap out of anyone who tries to backstab him. Makabe is left in shock as he cannot fathom what is going down in his presence. The only type of magic attributes he knows are water, wind, earth, and fire. However, he can't process the fact that Leon is using something else entirely right in front of him. Makabe then takes it a step further by calling Leon a useless fellow. Leon's aura immediately turns dark, and his face becomes really scary. Even Makabe feels this, and sweat drips down his face. Leon says he never expected Makabe to stoop so low as to look down on him to the extent of calling him useless. Makabe can sense what is coming for him and quickly launches a flame attack, hoping to catch Leon off guard. However, Leon easily swallows up his attack, and before Makabe can react, Leon has reached him. Leon slightly hits him, and Makabe falls unconscious immediately. Apparently, Leon robbed him of his mana, which is why he passed out cold on the ground. Luna commends Leon as usual, but Leon is just glad that he has been able to deal with Makabe. He is pretty sure Makabe will no longer bother him. In addition to this, Leon is relieved that the fight ended without things going out of hand. Suddenly, the school alarm goes off, and the students are ordered to evacuate because a gate has appeared within the school premises. To make it worse, the threat level of the gate has been evaluated as Category Red, which is the highest threat level. The students are required to head into the city and avoid fighting the emerging monsters. Mikoto wants to head to the gate, but one of the teachers tells her not to. Apparently, the headmaster has ordered that no student should go near the gate since it is the highest threat level. The teacher adds that the school will be held responsible if anything happens to her. However, Mikoto is stubborn. She reminds the teacher that the last time a Category Red gate appeared, citizens close to the gate suffered. She also adds that they are being trained in school so that they can help in situations like this one. Mikoto ignores the teacher's warning and heads toward the gate in an attempt to seal it. In no time, monsters start to appear from the gate. A student almost gets killed by the monsters, but Mikoto's timely arrival prevents this disaster from happening. The student is thankful that Mikoto showed up at the right time. Mikoto asks him if he can walk, to which he says yes. Mikoto tells the boy to join the other students and run far away from the gate. Since the gate is close to the city and the students are still finding it difficult to evacuate, Mikoto decides that the best option for her is to defeat the master of the gate. Before Leon can get to the gate, Mikoto has entered. Leon then asks Luna what they need to do to close the gate. Luna explains to him that they have to defeat the monster that controls the gate, which is known as the boss. Leon then prepares to enter the gate. Before entering, Luna reminds Leon that the dark magic is powerful, but it consumes too much mana. Leon then tells Luna that even if it is dangerous, he cannot leave the threat of the gate to remain. Once they have come to this resolution, the two jump into the portal. Meanwhile, Mikoto is doing her best by taking down monsters. However, there are many monsters, and they are also more durable because they are in a category red gate. Mikoto admits that it is not easy to seal the gate as she is already exhausted. Suddenly, a large monster appears behind her and almost crushes her, but Leon shows up just in time. Using his dark magic, he takes down the monster in one shot. Mikoto is shocked, and when she looks into the distance, she sees Leon, standing like a proper aura farmer. Mikoto thanks Leon for saving her from the monster. Meanwhile, Luna is just glad that they made it in time. Leon also tells Mikoto that he is happy she is not hurt. Mikoto then asks him about the type of magic that he just used. Leon urges Mikoto to forget the question first and let them focus on closing the gate. Mikoto agrees with Leon, and together, they move forward. As they advance further into the gate, Mikoto cannot help but wonder just who Leon is. She knows that she has heard of him before. Apparently, during the Academy's mock battle, he came in last place. Leon is known to be very weak, but Mikoto wonders how he is able to use such powerful magic. They soon encounter more monsters, and Mikoto uses her water magic to take most of them out. Even Leon is impressed, as he has always suspected that Mikoto is strong. Leon is not that surprised, as Mikoto is at the top level in the Academy. Not long after this, they run into an earth golem. The golem aims for Leon and tries to smash him to the ground, but he dodges the attack and leaps into the air. As usual, he relies on the dark magic attribute to crush the golem by shooting a single energy beam into its head. Mikoto is surprised when she sees this. She cannot believe that Leon targeted the weakest point on the golem, which is its eyes, and with a single shot, took it down. Mikoto realizes that Leon is not just efficient because of the type of magic he is using, but because of the way he is activating it fast and accurately. Mikoto is impressed with Leon's power, and she compares him to a veteran mage who has been fighting for decades. They soon clear all the monsters in their way and finally enter the boss room. The boss turns out to be a giant lava dragon, which is classified as a very dangerous monster. Leon then tells Mikoto to be careful because the dragon will continuously attack them with its fire and tail to keep them at range. Leon has not finished saying this when the dragon unleashes a powerful fire breath. Mikoto and Leon jump away from the trajectory of the attack. The fire breath hits the ground, shattering everything in its path. While trying to dodge the fire breath, Mikoto puts herself in the path of the dragon's tail without even realizing it. Mikoto finally understands what Leon was saying. Mikoto dodges the attack, and she launches a powerful ice attack which is aimed at the dragon's upper body. However, the ice attack breaks down before it could even reach the dragon. Mikoto is shocked since water magic is supposed to be the most effective against dragons, but the dragon is emitting too much heat from its body. Leon then activates his dark magic, the Deadly Claw. He hits the dragon with this, causing it severe pain. The dragon realizes what is about to come and leaps into the air to try and escape. Leon is surprised that the dragon still has the agility to fly even though it is very big. Mikoto then runs over to Leon, asking him what their plan is. Leon asks her if she is able to use any other magic attribute aside from water. Mikoto says yes, but demands to know why Leon is asking. Leon then urges Mikoto to try and slow the dragon down, even if it is just for a few moments. Mikoto agrees to this, and she immediately activates her wind magic attribute. She launches an aerial blast at the dragon, forcing it to stop moving. Once the dragon is stationary, Luna calls Leon's attention to this. Leon then activates his dark magic, the Abyss Ruler. The dragon is immediately surrounded by tons of dark energy built like butterflies. They infiltrate the dragon's skin, releasing a massive energy blast. This also leaves a bright light, and when everything comes back to normal, the dragon is on the ground, ultimately defeated. Luna is excited as she tells Leon that they have been able to defeat the dragon. Mikoto is also impressed at how Leon was able to take down the dragon, and she lets him know that she has loads of questions to ask him. However, she is going to leave them for later while they celebrate their win. Leon smiles at the lady and lets her know that they were able to take down the dragon thanks to her. The gate closes up, and the two return to the human world. Leon is glad that there was not much damage done to the area as well. Just then, the headmaster Shido Atsushi shows up. With anger written all over his stern face, he asks Mikoto why she disregarded a direct order given to her. Since Leon doesn't know who the man is, he asks Luna. Luna then explains to him that the man he is looking at is the headmaster of the academy. Apparently, he founded the academy to train young mages. In addition to this, he has built a fortune for himself. Leon then figures out that there is the possibility that Shido has connections with Shark since he is the head of the academy. However, Leon puts away the thought to avoid assumptions. Mikoto walks up to Shido, apologizing for disobeying his orders, but she lets him know that they cannot just sit by and watch while people are in danger. Shido understands Mikoto's conviction, but tells her that she cannot wade through everything with her sense of justice. Shido is worried about Mikoto because things could have gone horribly wrong if she hadn't sealed the gate. Just then, Leon cuts in, telling the headmaster that he is supposed to commend Mikoto for being brave and courageous. This pisses Shido off and he demands to know who Leon is. Shido adds that outsiders have no right to speak to him. Mikoto then tells the headmaster that Leon is not an outsider. In fact, the reason they were able to seal the gate was thanks to him, she says. Shido laughs out loud when Mikoto says this. Shido doesn't believe Mikoto because he has finally taken a good look and he realizes that Leon is the lowest ranked student in the academy. Shido considers the entire thing ridiculous, and he turns around to enter his vehicle. Mikoto tries to call him back, but Shido is not ready to accept the fact that the most useless student in the academy closed the gate. He believes that Mikoto is joking, and he drives off in anger. Because of how Shido just acted, Leon decides that it is best he looks into him. After the whole thing, Leon heads back to his dorm room. Luna and Leon talk about how the day went. Luna reveals that she can't forgive the headmaster for acting all high and mighty. Leon, on the other hand, figures out that no one rates Kuroban, which is why they don't believe in him. Just then, Leon picks up Kuroban's diary to read. Leon apologizes for imposing on his previous self, but mentions the importance of reading the diary. Apparently, the day Leon entered Kuroban's body, he was already tired of everything. Kuroban writes about how he wanted to become a seeker so as to earn money to pay for his little sister's medical bills. However, no matter how he tried, he was never able to produce magic, which is why he was looked down on. He was bullied, treated like trash, and every single day was hell for him. While reading this, Leon shed tears because of what the boy had gone through. Even Luna noticed him, but he quickly got on his feet and walked to the window. He looks into the sky and promises to deal with those who treated Kuroban like trash. Meanwhile, Shido is looking at Kuroban's file in his office. He wonders why someone as poor as Kuroban is challenging him. Shido enjoys a good stick of a cigar while checking Kuroban's file. He mentions how easy it is for him to expel Leon from the school. At the same time, Mikoto is in the shower, and she is thinking back on everything. She knows that Leon was the poorest student when it comes to talent and magic, but what she witnessed is totally different. Without a doubt, Mikoto figures out that something else is going on. The next day, Leon is approached by the vice president of the student council, Naru's Shuya. Shuya demands an audience with Leon. He reveals that he heard about the event that happened the day before. Shuya asks Leon if he planned on taking advantage of the chaos to loot resources inside the gate. Mikoto already informed Shuya that Leon helped her, but Shuya doesn't want to believe this. Shuya tells Leon that someone as trashy as him should stop causing problems for Mikoto. Luna cannot believe how rude Shuya is, and Leon calmly tells Shuya that he was only trying to close the gate and nothing more. Shuya reminds Leon that he is so bad that he was never able to win a mock battle at the school. Shuya is still berating Leon when Mikoto shows up. Shuya is forced to walk away, and he urges Leon to keep his mouth shut while the student council handles everything. Shuya smiles at Mikoto, telling her that he is going to meet with her at the student council meeting, slated to be held later that day. Mikoto then asks Leon what Shuya was saying to him. Leon lied that it was nothing important. Leon then asks Mikoto why she was looking for him in the first place. Mikoto replies, telling him that the headmaster is looking for him. Upon entering the headmaster's office, Shido tells Leon that he has decided to withdraw his admission to the school. Mikoto is shocked, and she demands to know why. Shido claims that Leon's practical magic scores are the worst, and to top it all off, he hasn't won a single mock battle since he enrolled at the academy. Shido throws Leon's file at him, telling him that students with no talent in magic have no place in the school. Shido considers what he is doing as mercy. Just then, Leon asks him if all he wants is for him to prove that he is worthy. Leon asks Shido if he is going to rescind his decision if he wins all the mock battles scheduled for the month. Shido is pissed to hear this, but when he realizes that Leon has been scheduled to take on Shuya, he agrees. Shido tells Leon that he is accepting his proposal out of pity. Leon smiles since they are both in agreement about what they want. After leaving the headmaster's office, Mikoto stops Leon, telling him to take back the deal he made with the headmaster. She lets him know that being expelled because of bad grades has never been heard of. However, his deal will only make it easy for the headmaster to expel him. Mikoto admits that Leon is strong, but she is worried that Shuya is going to outshine him pretty easily. Leon then tells Mikoto that she doesn't have to worry about him. He tells her that he is willing to pay the small price to cancel his expulsion. In addition, he has promised that he is going to redeem Kuroban's reputation. When Leon returns to his dorm, Luna suggests that he stop attending the school since he doesn't even need it. However, Leon is stubborn and adamant. He wants to stay in the academy as he believes that this is the best way to get back at Shark. Leon is confident that there is a connection between Shark and Shidu. He also has another theory. He believes that Shark is possessing the headmaster. However, Luna rules out this theory. She lets Leon know that she can sense beings who are from another dimension. Leon then comes to the conclusion that all he needs to do is keep closing the gates while looking for clues on Shark and the Demon King. Leon notices that Luna is sad, and he asks her what could possibly be wrong. Luna reveals that she feels bad for Leon. Even though it is the goddess's orders, she believes that Leon has a heavy burden placed on him. Leon then tells Luna not to pity him because he is actually grateful that the goddess gave him another chance at life. This might be his chance to get revenge on Shark, and he is happy he has it. In addition to that, Belfar is a threat to the world, and since the goddess wants him to take the Demon King down, he is happy to do it. Leon assures Luna that she has nothing to apologize for. This lifts Luna's spirit, and she reveals how happy she is that Leon was the one who was chosen. Leon decides that it is time for him to rest since he has a mock battle coming up the next day. Luna is also glad that they are going to get the chance to show Shidu what Leon is capable of. Internally, Luna also wishes that Leon's desire is granted. The next day, the students gather at the arena for the mock battles. The student who is matched against Leon trashes him. He is confident that he is going to win since Leon hasn't won a single match in the past. The spectators laugh at Leon as they all assume that he is going to get trashed. The match begins, and Leon's opponent aims to settle the fight with just a single attack. He launches a wind attack at Leon, but before the attack hits, he disappears. When the dust clears, Leon's opponent believes that he knocked Leon out of the arena with his incredible power. Just then, Leon appears behind him, and before his opponent can react, Leon hits him with an earth magic attack. Leon's single strike knocks his opponent out cold. Everyone, including the referee, is shocked. The students cannot believe that Leon just defeated the 23 RD ranked student in the academy. They keep whispering and saying all sorts of things, but Makoto just sits there in awe. Meanwhile, Luna is watching from a distance. She is surprised that Leon didn't use his dark magic attribute. She is impressed that without the dark magic attribute, Leon is very powerful. The mock battles continue, and just as expected, Leon takes down his next opponent too. Shidu is watching the fight go down, and he can't believe his eyes. Leon has never won a match before, but now he is defeating all his opponents one after the other. Shidu still wants to believe that it is nothing but a mistake. The thought of Leon being the one to close the red gate pissed him off, and he considers it basically impossible. Shidu then calls Shuya to his office. He lets Shuya know that he will be facing off against Leon in one of the mock battles, and Shuya tells the headmaster that he is aware of this. Shuya asks the headmaster why he called him, and the man urges Shuya to fight at his full strength when taking on Leon. Shidu ultimately believes that Shuya will win, but he is just telling her in advance. Shuya is confident that he will win. He claims to have studied Leon's battles so far, and all Leon used was the earth magic attribute. Shuya says Leon might have defeated others, but he is still not a match for him. With this assurance from him, the headmaster believes that he has nothing to worry about. After leaving Shidu's office, Shuya wonders why the headmaster is being cautious. He believes that there might be something different about Leon. However, he is pretty sure that there is no way he is going to lose to Leon. The battles continue, and Leon keeps winning and winning. After one of his battles, Makoto walks over to him with a bottle of water in hand. Makoto tells Leon that he is almost at the end of it all. Leon says all he needs to do is to win his mock battle for the day. Not long after this, Leon and Shuya meet at the arena for the final mock battle of the day. Shuya tells Leon not to try and get cocky because he has been winning every battle recently. Leon then tells Shuya that he is perfectly fine. He is not feeling any emotion since he knows that winning is all he needs. Shuya then asks Leon if he plans on winning against him, to which he says yes. Shuya commends Leon for his bravery, but he plans to make him regret his decision. The mood becomes tense with everyone watching in anticipation of what is about to happen between the two. Shuya remains skeptical about Leon as he doesn't understand how someone as trashy as he could suddenly become powerful. Shuya wonders if Leon intentionally hid his strength and waited till the right moment just so he could aura farm. However, Shuya is ready to embarrass Leon and make him reveal his true identity. Shuya goes straight for a high-ranking wind magic. He fires a wind shot at Leon, but Leon creates a wall using ice magic and he blocks the attack. Shuya is shocked as he doesn't expect his attack to be easily blocked. He expected his attack to hit Leon before he could even do anything about it. The students who are watching are all hyped when Leon blocks Shuya's attack. Since Shuya believes that Leon can only use earth magic, he decides to beat him with exactly that. He activates earth magic and releases a barrage of rocks at Leon. Leon is trapped between the rocks, and this is when he unleashes his wind magic attribute. He throws off all the attacks against him using a wind attack, leaving Shuya ultimately shocked. The students get off their chairs and start to cheer Leon on. Everyone is shocked at how impressive Leon is. Mikoto mentions how only a few wizards are able to use multiple magic attributes because of the time it takes to learn them. Leon's ability to use multiple magic remains a mystery for Mikoto. Shuya then questions Leon's ability to be able to use another attribute, which is not earth magic. Leon berates him for looking down on people. Shuya is shocked that Leon is talking back at him. Leon then points out how arrogant and careless he is. Leon tells Shuya that he might be a good magic user, but he should find a way to fix his attitude. Shuya cannot believe the words coming out of Leon's mouth. This pisses him off, and he tells Leon to watch it. He reveals that he only acknowledges one person in the entire academy, and this said person is Mikoto. He has been doing everything in his power to make sure that Mikoto sees him as worthy to stand side by side with her. Shuya is pissed that Leon believes that they are equal. Enraged, he activates his ultimate attack, the water attribute magic. Everyone is blown away by the level of power coming from Shuya. Shuya tells Leon that it is over for him, and with this, he unleashes his power. Leon is trapped in the attack, and Shuya is confident that wind magic cannot stop the attack. In addition, an earth magic defense will just freeze up because of how powerful the attack is. Shuya is confident that his victory is certain with this. Suddenly, Shuya sees fire brewing from inside the ice wall that he trapped Leon in. Shuya cannot believe what he is seeing, and in no time, Leon burns through the ice wall. Shuya is in disbelief as he doesn't think Leon has the ability to use 3 attributes. Just then, Leon tells him that he is not limited to 3 abilities. Leon creates an ice attack using water attributes. The next thing Shuya sees is a bunch of ice raining down on him from above. The ice attack overwhelms Shuya and puts him on his knees. Leon then walks up to him to give him a piece of advice. He tells him that if it is his goal to reach the peak of magic, he needs to focus on what's ahead of him. However, he lets him know that there will still be things that will be out of his reach. Leon walks away like the very cool guy he is, and when Shuya tries to stand up, he collapses, and the referee declares Leon the winner. That night, Shido sits in his office, beating his table. He finds it hard to believe that Leon, who was nothing but trash, has suddenly become a 4-attribute user. He then remembers what Mikoto told him about how Leon helped close the gate. Shido angrily picks up his phone and puts a call through to someone who can help. On his table is Leon's file, and he is burning it up with his cigar stick. After winning the mock battles, Shido has no choice but to rescind his decision to expel Leon. However, Leon is now left with what to do next. He draws out a plan on what to do, and probing Shido is one of the plans. He wants to get down to it immediately, but he learns that Shido has traveled on a business trip. Since Shido is currently out of the equation, he decides to focus on the appearance of the gates. He knows that by blocking the gates, those who are connected to Belfar will be forced to show themselves. The next day, Leon's class receives a new teacher. He introduces himself as Hashiba, and all the girls already love him. However, Leon is not falling for the theatrics that he is putting on. During the lunch break, the students talk about how strong Leon is. They can't believe that he was able to defeat Shuya, who is the strongest in the school after Mikoto. The students start teasing themselves about getting Leon to teach them magic. Leon is enjoying his meal when Mikoto shows up to sit with him. Mikoto commends him for doing a good job during the mock battles. She also thanks Leon for what he did for Shuya. Apparently, Leon's words were able to get through to him. Leon acts humble, claiming that he didn't say anything special. Mikoto then talks about Shido's attitude. Mikoto reveals that she is not happy with the way the headmaster handled the whole situation. Leon then asks Mikoto if the headmaster has always been like that. Mikoto mentions that Shido was a former seeker, and currently there are rumors flying around that he is up to shady things. Just then, the news comes on the TV. Reports come in about the frequent appearance of gates, but thanks to the mages, they all get sealed in no time. Civilians with no magic are advised to stay away from the gates. Leon remembers what Luna told him about the gates having what it takes to destroy the world if left unchecked. However, Leon is determined to never let that happen. Leon then tells Mikoto that he wants her to look into something. Later that day, Luna and Leon go on patrol to see if the gates will open. Apparently, Leon has been clearing all the gates that have been opening in the area. He is secretly doing this to avoid drawing attention to himself. Shortly afterward, a category green gate opens right in front of them. Upon entering, they find themselves in a sea of trees. Luna urges Leon to be careful since the visibility in the area is quite poor. Leon takes down monsters as they move deeper and deeper. They soon arrive at the deepest part of the gate where the boss is supposed to be. However, they find nothing. Suddenly, a monster appears behind Luna and grabs her. The monster was hiding in the tree to conceal his presence. Leon urges Luna to stop moving, and by using his dark magic, Leon takes down the monster, saving Luna. Luna thanks Leon for saving her, but Leon just replies that he is happy that she is safe. Luna is shocked at how fast Leon fired the magic because she believed that she was done for. Leon tells Luna that he acted fast because he is someone who is used to monsters ambushing him. Because of how often it happens, he can now react to them pretty easily. With the monster defeated, the gate closes and the two return to the human world. Suddenly, earth magic attacks come straight at them. Leon dodges the attacks and looks at the trajectory to see an unknown figure standing on the distant rooftop. The unknown figure has a mask covering his face, and he also has a hood to make sure that his identity remains hidden. He is surprised that Leon is able to dodge his attacks and then instinctively knows where he is. The unknown figure is ready to enjoy hunting down Leon. Leon can sense the insane aura coming from the attacker, and he tells Luna to hide. Leon stares at the attacker and he demands to know who he is and why he attacked him. The attacker replies that he is not interested in answering Leon's question, but instead unleashes a fire attack on him. Leon is forced to move swiftly so as not to get hit by the fire attacks. The attacker doesn't stop as he continues to unleash more fireballs at Leon. Just as the fire attack is about to catch up to Leon, he is forced to use his dark magic to swallow up the attack. The attacker is shocked to see this, and he asks Leon what sort of magic he just used. The attacker aims to capture Leon, but Leon uses another dark magic spell, different from the one he just used. This shocks the attacker, and he decides that running away is the best option for him. When the dust clears, the attacker has escaped. Leon looks at the rooftop to see that there is nothing there. Luna returns, asking Leon if he is fine, and he says yes. They return to the dorm, and they start wondering who the attacker is. Leon says it is too early to say, but he was able to confirm the attacker's movements. Leon believes that there is a chance the attacker is connected to someone at the school. He might have escaped this time, but Leon promises to catch him next time, and he is going to torture him till he confesses everything that he knows. The next day, Hashiba calls Leon after class. Hashiba reveals the good things he has heard about Leon. Hashiba talks about the closing of the Red Gate. Leon says it is true, but the headmaster refused to believe him. Hashiba then tells Leon that he believes him because he saw how he fought during the mock battles. Hashiba taps Leon on the shoulder, telling him that he is looking forward to his future performances. Leon thanks him and walks away. Later that night, the masked attacker sees Leon entering a gate again. This time, he is prepared to go all out on Leon and pay him back for injuring him during their last encounter. The masked attacker believes that he let his guard down the previous day, but the same occurrence won't repeat itself. He is more confident since he has a walkie-talkie with him too. Moments later, Leon clears the gate, shocking the attacker. He doesn't want to believe that Leon is able to clear the gate in such a short time. However, he is still not worried, as he is confident that he has what it takes to defeat Leon. Just as Leon steps out of the gate, the masked attacker uses the walkie-talkie to contact his subordinates, who are hiding. Suddenly, Leon finds himself surrounded by a bunch of masked individuals. At the same time, the masked individuals hit Leon with their attack. This leaves a cloud of explosion on the scene, and the masked attacker on the roof believes that Leon is dead. He tells his subordinates to check the body to make sure that Leon is dead. The next thing he hears from the walkie is his subordinates screaming for help. He turns back around to see Leon dealing with his subordinates. He is shocked as he starts to wonder how Leon was able to survive the explosion. He is about to piss himself, but he finally gets himself to calm down with the assurance that Leon doesn't know where he is. Suddenly, Leon appears beside him, and the masked attacker freezes in fear. He doesn't believe his eyes, and he is forced to ask Leon how he managed to reach him on the rooftop. Leon then tells the attacker that he has a partner. He already told Luna to look around the area for anything suspicious. Leon then hits the attacker with wind magic, throwing off his mask, revealing his true identity. Just as expected and suspected, it turns out to be Hashiba. Hashiba is shocked, and he asks Leon how he knew that it was him. Leon then reveals that he noticed that Hashiba used a different arm in class today from the one he used yesterday. Leon was able to figure out that Hashiba was probably forced to do this because of the injury he sustained on his hand during their last battle. In addition to this, he had Mikoto look into him, and she found out that he was a former Seeker. Leon also found out that the magic attack that Hashiba used during their last battle was his specialty. Hashiba stands there in fear and awe, realizing that Leon already knows everything about him. Leon tells Hashiba that he is going to beat him until he reveals why he attacked him. Hashiba lets out a loud laugh when he hears this. He commends Leon for being able to find out his identity. However, he lets Leon know that he is no more than a student, and he urges him not to get ahead of himself. Just then, Hashiba unleashes a massive firestorm. Leon is ultimately trapped, with nowhere for him to go. Hashiba claims that he has slaughtered thousands of monsters using the magic and lets Leon know that he is going to die from the same attack. Hashiba shoots his fire attack at Leon. Leon remains unfazed, and he lets Hashiba know that there is nothing about magic that he doesn't know. Leon thanks Hashiba's magic and decides to show him how to properly use fire magic. Leon then unleashes a fire attack called the Crimson Blaze. As the fire approaches Hashiba, he is shocked because the magic spell is the highest level of fire magic available. However, Leon tells him that he is wrong. In fact, the spell he just used is considered an intermediate fire magic by Leon. Hashiba is pissed when he hears this and screams at Leon, telling him not to mess with him. Leon starts walking toward Hashiba with his dark magic activated. Leon tells Hashiba that the 1,000 monsters he claims to have killed are nothing when compared to the over 100,000 monsters he has taken down. Leon grabs Hashiba and holds him by the neck while he drains his mana. Hashiba screams in pain as he realizes that his mana is being drained. He tries to move, but his body just refuses to. Leon finally defeats Hashiba, and Luna commends him. Leon is not yet done with Hashiba. He holds him down, asking him if Shidu was the one who ordered him to come after him. Hashiba refuses to answer, but Leon already takes this as his answer. Hashiba screams out, telling Leon that he was only following instructions. Apparently, he was instructed to get rid of everyone and anyone trying to close the gates. It then dawns on Leon that people who are closing the gates are targets. This finally tells Leon that Shidu is truly on Belfar's side. However, Leon is confused as to why Shidu would create an institution that trains wizards. Leon has his doubts, but they are not about Shidu being a part of Belfar's subordinates. Leon knows that Shidu will not do anything even if he hands Hashiba over to the authorities. Leon then decides to keep Hashiba restrained, hoping that Shidu will start acting rashly when making decisions. Leon is prepared to expose everyone who is involved with the Demon King. Meanwhile, Shidu is seen meeting someone who is of a higher rank than him. He enters the house with a chill feeling running down his spine. He bows to this unknown man who is enjoying his drink in his chair. The man then demands that Shidu tender his report. After he is done giving his reports, the man commends Shidu for his good work. Shidu then tells his boss the issue that has been eating him up. He lets him know that there is a student who has suddenly started producing good results as if he had become someone else entirely. He adds that Leon can also use 4 attributes. Shidu then tells his boss that he has already sent an assassin to take care of the situation. However, Shidu's boss tells him that he is interested in the story. He stands up, stares into the sky, and his dark, scary aura fills the room. Shidu's boss believes that the student might end up becoming a huge problem, but Shidu assures him that his assassin will take care of it. However, Shidu's boss doesn't think the assassin is successful because he has not reached out to him. Shidu doesn't want to believe this. He immediately reaches into his pocket. He brings out his phone and tries to contact Hashiba but can't get through. Shidu doesn't want to accept the reality that Hashiba has been defeated. Shidu wonders how Leon was able to take down Hashiba of all people. Shidu's boss tells Shidu that the only option they have left is to use the students as bait. The dude reaches into a chest on his table and brings out a ring. He throws the ring to Shidu, telling him that he is free to proceed to the next phase of the experiment. Shidu is glad that they are finally moving on to the next phase, which is why they were gathering the wizards in the first place. The big boss talks about how interesting things are about to become. To spice things up, he is willing to launch the Black Gate. The next day, Shidu calls Leon to his office. He apologizes for the way he treated him. Shidu tells Leon not to mind his sudden change in character, as he claims that he has seen past his sentimentality. Shidu then tells Leon about the recent increase in the appearance of the gates. Because of this, he wants Leon to accompany Mikoto in shutting down the gates. Leon says this will have them patrol the areas where the gates have been opening lately. Leon agrees to take on the task, and Shidu tells Leon that he will be counting on him to do a good job. Leon and Shidu shake hands, but Leon obviously knows that Shidu is planning something. Leon wants to play along till he knows what it is. While the two are shaking hands, a dark aura surfaces, but Leon doesn't seem to notice. After leaving Shidu's office, Leon calls Mikoto to the roof. He explained things to her, letting her know that they are about to walk into a trap. He tells her that it is related to what he asked her to investigate. Leon tells Mikoto that he doesn't know if Shidu has already found out about him or not, but it is evident that Shidu doesn't want good for him. Mikoto then says Leon should have rejected Shidu's request, but then it dawns on her that they can't just leave the gates open. Leon then assures Mikoto that he has a plan, but the plan includes only him, so he will be the only one doing the patrols. However, Mikoto refuses to let Leon embark on the plan alone. She tells Leon that she cannot just sit back and let the nation burn down. Luna realizes that Mikoto is not showing any sign that she is going back down, and Leon has no choice but to agree for her to help. Leon tells Mikoto that they are going to head out in the evening. Leon then asks Mikoto if she is not afraid of the monsters residing in the gates. Mikoto comes clean, saying she is afraid, but she doesn't want to sit back and watch while dark forces threaten the world. This is one of the reasons she became a wizard. Leon realizes that Mikoto is acting just like him in his previous life when he set out to defeat the Demon King. Mikoto then adds that she is confident that as long as she is with Leon, she has the strength to fight. Suddenly, a black gate opens just behind Mikoto, sucking her in. Leon is in disbelief at a black gate in front of him. In addition to this, he can sense the ominous pressure coming from the gate. Instead of fretting, Leon comes to the quick decision that saving Mikoto takes the utmost priority. Meanwhile, Shidu is watching everything unfold from his office, and he is laughing like a maniac, talking about how he has successfully set the bait. Apparently, the boss of the Black Gate is very powerful and tricky. It is a monster that feeds on wizards, teeming with a large amount of mana. Shidu's boss is excited to see how Leon plans to defeat the monster. Just as Leon is about to enter, Luna stops him. She points out the fact that the Black Gate looks pretty dangerous. Luna is worried that something sinister awaits them inside the gate. Leon understands Luna's analogy because the gate appeared right where they were told to patrol. In addition to this, Leon believes that the gate is something created by Shidu. Leon wonders if it is Shidu's plan to trap him and Mikoto inside the gate. Leon understands that the gate is dangerous, and while thinking of what to do, monsters appear from the gate. Leon wants to enter the gate, but at the same time, he cannot ignore the monsters that have emerged. Suddenly, attack arrows appear from nowhere and take down the monsters. Leon looks around to see Shuya. Shuya then demands that Leon tell him about the situation on the ground. Leon then comes clean, telling Shuya that Mikoto is trapped inside the Black Gate. Shuya's mouth is left wide open in shock when he hears this. But just then, more monsters appear from the gate. Leon tells Shuya that they need to take care of the monsters first. However, Shuya tells Leon that he will handle the monsters while Leon dives into the gate. Leon thanks Shuya for the assistance and heads into the gate. Shuya tells himself the bitter truth that Leon is the best person suited to rescue Mikoto. Shuya then takes on the monsters, shooting them with his magic arrow. Upon entering the gate, the first monster Leon comes across is a lava dragon, which is considered a boss-level monster in a red gate. However, Leon is not the least worried about this. He activates his dark magic and generates a scythe to cut down the dragon in one swing. However, a few more dragons appear right in front of Leon. Leon doesn't hold back in taking down the monsters with his magic. Meanwhile, Shidu is busy watching everything in his office. In no time, Leon arrives at the deepest part of the gate. Luna notices that Leon looks exhausted, and she asks him if he is fine. Leon lets Luna know that she has nothing to worry about. He assures Luna that he has undergone several exhausting battles in the past, and this is nothing to him. Luna realizes that Leon is actually right. All they have to do is rescue Mikoto. Mikoto finally wakes up to see the monster wrapped tightly around her. The monster looks really scary, and it seems to be draining Mikoto's mana. Mikoto wonders what will happen if such a monster is allowed to roam the outside world. While trapped with the monster, Mikoto is worried if Leon managed to get away to safety. However, it dawns on Mikoto that Leon is not someone who will run away from a fight. Once she realizes this, she decides that she can't give up either. She tries to use her fire magic in an attempt to break free, but her magic refuses to activate. This is when it finally dawns on her that the monster is draining her mana. Just then, the monster opens its big mouth with lots of large teeth. The monster is about to consume Mikoto when Leon arrives on the scene. Mikoto smiles when she sees Leon since she knows that Leon would definitely come for her. Shidu contacts his boss, telling him that he was able to open the gate without any problem. He believes that Leon has come to the end of the road and it is over for him. They plan to use Leon as sustenance for the monster. Luna informs Leon that the tentacles holding Mikoto are absorbing her mana. Leon also admits this is the first time he will see a monster like this. Even in his other world, there are no monsters like this. However, Leon is not ready to give up in the face of adversity. Leon prepares to attack the monster, and the monster swings one of its tentacles at Leon. Leon manages to dodge, but he sees how badly the ground is damaged when the tentacle hits. He realizes that he is going to be in trouble if the tentacle hits him, which means he has to be careful. Leon comes up with a plan to attack the monster's main body instead. Leon activates his dark magic, destroying the monster's tentacles. Luna thinks it is over, but Leon lets her know that it is far from over. He points out the fact that the monster's main body remains unharmed. Just then, the monster pushes its tentacles into the ground, and one of them appears right behind Leon. Thanks to Luna's timely warning, he is able to quickly get out of the way. However, he gets cut a little from the attack. Mikoto screams in fear, but Leon assures her that he is fine. Leon is having difficulties reading how the monster will move or behave since it is his first time fighting the monster. One of the tentacles tries to sneak up on Leon again, but he cuts it off with his scythe. Leon doesn't hold back as he repeatedly goes after the monster, cutting off its tentacles. Luna is worried about Leon because he has been fighting since he stepped through the gate. She believes that Leon is probably running out of mana. To top it all off, Mikoto is slowly dying at the hands of the monster. Luna knows that Leon is going to run into problems if he tries attacking the main body because the tentacles are just going to take him down. Leon then relinquishes his scythe and he dashes toward the monster at high speed. He activates his dark magic, the Grim Reaper, and with this, he is able to restrict the monster's tentacles. Leon then reaches the monster's main body before it can react. Leon uses another dark spell, the Blind Edge. This rains multiple energy beams on the monster, giving Leon the chance to reach its eyes. Once Leon is directly facing the monster's eyes, Leon hits it with another dark spell, the Lord's Force. This pierces the monster's body, shattering it to its last atom. Mikoto falls freely from the monster's grip, and Leon catches her before she reaches the ground. Mikoto slowly opens her eyes, and Leon asks her if she is fine, to which she replies that she is glad that Leon came for her. Shido is shocked when he gets the notification that the Black Gate is disappearing. Sweat runs down his face in disbelief and fear. Shido refuses to believe that Leon defeated the Lord of the Black Gate. Just then, he reaches into his pocket to bring out the ring that his boss gave him. He plans to take on Leon by himself. But suddenly, Leon appears behind him, looking all scary and pissed. Leon is pissed that Shido had to drag Mikoto into their fight. Shido freezes in fear, but Leon lets him know that there is no forgiveness for someone who is as evil as him. Leon lets Shido know that he has left a mark on his body by using a special level spell. This is the mark that allows him to be able to teleport directly to where Shido is. Shido is shocked to hear this, as this is the first time he has seen any magic that can do that. Leon then tells Shido that it is his time to ask him questions. He asks Shido if he is the one who summoned the Black Gate. Leon tells Shido not to worry about lying because he can clearly see that he used the equipment behind him to open the gate. Leon is mad that Shido went ahead to create an academy for wizards. He asks him why he would do something like that. Shido smiles evilly before replying to Leon. He tells him that the academy was created as a food source to fill the bellies of the monsters residing in the gates. Apparently they were breeding the students for the main purpose. Shido then comes clean, telling Leon that he is the one who materialized the gate. He wants to use the chaos behind the gates to rise to power and take authority. Leon realizes that Shido is telling the truth. He is not all that impressed with the fact that Shido tried to kill Mikoto for his selfish reasons. Leon calls Shido a scum, but Shido says he doesn't care. He's prepared to kill Leon right there. Shido unleashes fireballs at Leon, but he easily blocks them with his dark magic. Even Shido is shocked, as this is the first time he is experiencing this. He cannot believe that his magic attack vanished just as it reached Leon. Leon then teases Shido, telling him to use his best attack against him. Shido is surprised that Leon looks totally battered, but he is still boasting. Shido then cooks up another flame attack, assuring Leon that there will be nothing left of him once the attack hits him. Shido directs the attack toward Leon, but to his ultimate surprise, Leon just absorbs all the flames. Leon then uses a dark spell to reflect the attack back to Shido. Shido gets hit by his own attack and he screams out in pain. Shido cannot believe what he just witnessed. He wonders if Leon is the same student he was calling useless trash. Realizing that he is about to lose, Shido tries to make a desperate move by summoning another gate right inside the room. However, his hand gets crushed by dark magic before he gets the chance to activate the magic. Leon spots the rings on Shido's fingers and he figures out that Shido is able to materialize the gates with the rings. Shido can sense the rage in Leon, and just as he is about to beg for forgiveness, Leon punches him very hard in the face, sending him across the room. Leon grabs him and reminds him that he is scum that doesn't deserve his forgiveness. Leon assures Shido that he is going to cause him so much pain that he will have no choice but to confess who he works for. Shido is about to speak the name of his boss when something suddenly hits his consciousness, instantly knocking him out cold. Leon is shocked as he realizes that the person he is dealing with is tricky. Shido's boss considers Shido's death as taking down another pawn on his board. He is not happy that Leon won, but he promises himself that it is not the end of their fight. Later on, Leon tells Mikoto that Shido lost all of his memories when he woke up, but he has handed him over to the authorities. However, Leon is worried about the fact that the gates are still appearing in other places. This only tells him that there are more people who can materialize the gates. Leon is also confident that Shark is somewhat involved in all of these. Luna tells Leon that they can't lower their guard, and Leon renews his determination to find Shark no matter where he hides. That night, Leon wakes up from a nightmare detailing the events of his past life, the trauma he went through, and the reason he wanted revenge in the first place. When he opens his eyes, Luna is still very much asleep on the bed. Leon knows that Shido has been dismissed and arrested, but he is sure that he is not working alone. In addition to this, he knows that Shark is somewhere close to them. Not long after this, the school gets a new headmaster. Leon immediately becomes interested in this person as he wants to find out who he is. Mikoto tells Leon that the new headmaster mentioned his interest in meeting Leon. Leon asks Mikoto if she has made an acquaintance with the headmaster already, and she says yes. She reveals that this is made possible because of her family's background. Apparently, the headmaster is Genis Coleman, and he is someone who has treated Mikoto well since she was a kid. Genis is an instructor at a certain organization that gathers the best wizards. With everything Mikoto has said, Leon has already figured out that Genis is a skilled wizard. Mikoto reveals that Genis is known to have closed many gates. Luna is already excited to meet him so that they can figure Genis out themselves. Leon really hopes that Genis is a good and capable wizard. Leon enters the headmaster's office, and Genis comes running over to him. Genis appears to be a lively person, and Leon asks Mikoto if he is always like this, to which she says yes. Genis asks Leon if he has heard about him, and he says yes. He lets him know that he is aware of the fact that he is sent by a certain institution that gathers the best wizards. The name of the organization is Saber, and they are the ones who manage gates that appear all over the world. Basically, they are the protectors of this world. Genis reveals that the students of the academy have a chance to enter the organization once they are done with school. However, he tells them that they need to be the best of the best to be accepted. Genis uses this to glaze himself, talking about how he is a powerful wizard and the fact that he holds a key position in the organization. Leon is impressed with the fact that Genis has a lot of confidence in himself. Mikoto finally calls Genis's attention to the fact that he has something he needs to discuss with Leon. Just then, Genis goes from his chatty and smiley self to a very serious personality. He reminds Leon that the world is always in danger because of the gates. Leon says he is aware of this, and Genis continues by saying, Saber is low on active personnel. This is one of the reasons why Saber doesn't have an active agent in the region. Genis then reveals that things have been all good in the past until the Black Gate appeared. This caught Saber's attention, which is why Genis has come to the region. Genis and Saber have figured out that the Black Gate is much more dangerous than the Red Gates. There is a speculation that there will be thousands of casualties if the monsters in the Black Gate are to step outside. Genis mentions how important it is to monitor the appearance of the gates, but he doesn't think Saber has enough people for that. Since they are low on active personnel, Genis asks Mikoto and Leon to step in to help. He got reports that the two had conquered the Black Gate, and from what they learned, it would be difficult for even top wizards in Saber to close a Black Gate. Because of how strong the two are, Genis politely asks that they help the organization. Without hesitation, Leon shakes Genis's hands, assuring him that he is always ready to help out. Just then, Mikoto cuts in, and just as she is about to tell Genis that Leon was the one who single-handedly closed the Black Gate, the alarm goes off, informing everyone that a red gate has appeared near the school. Genis smiles as he considers this a good opportunity to see what Leon and Mikoto are capable of. Leon and Mikoto then head to the gate. Leon tells Genis that he will have to deal with any monster that escapes outside, and he agrees with this. Just as the two are about to enter, Shuya shows up, revealing his intention to join them. Since there is power in numbers, Leon agrees, and they all step into the gate to try and conquer it. Upon entering the gate, Leon understands why Genis wants to see them work together. He remembers that it is just like his former world. He has to fight alongside others to build trust. Leon has no issue fighting alongside Mikoto and any other person as long as their goal is to help. They all charge deep into the gate, and they soon run into a variety of monsters. Mikoto offers to take out the wolf-type monsters. She uses her water magic to create icicles, which she uses to impale the monsters. One of the monsters escapes and almost gets her, but Leon intercepts and takes it down. While helping Mikoto, a golem almost catches Leon, but he screams at Shuya to attack the golem's eyes. Shuya fires his arrows at the golem's eyes, ultimately defeating it. They soon run into bat-type monsters, and due to their sheer numbers, Leon decides to take them. He uses his dark attribute magic to one-shot all the bats. After clearing the area, Mikoto and Shuya apologize for moving too slowly, but Leon lets them know that they did pretty good. This is when Shuya asks Leon about the dark magic since it is his first time that he has seen it. Shuya asks Mikoto if she has witnessed it, and she says yes. However, she is also curious. Leon finally decides to tell them, and he explains that the magic he used is called the dark attribute magic. Leon tells them that he can't go into details since they still have a gate to conquer. However, he tells them that the magic is the type that has properties and effects that the other 4 attributes lack. Shuya asks Leon if he was hiding it during the mock battle, and Leon points out the fact that he obviously cannot use it in front of everyone because of how powerful it is. Leon then tells his friends that it is time they find the boss of the gate and defeat him. Mikoto can easily read Leon, and with everything she has seen, she knows that Leon has trained so hard to reach where he is. She wonders if there is a reason why Leon had to push himself to the limit. Mikoto knows that there is definitely a reason behind this, and she wonders if she is ever going to hear what the reason is. They arrive at the boss's room, and this time around, they find a crystal dragon. Leon remembers that in his previous life, the dragon had a tough defense, which made fighting it pretty difficult. However, he now has support in this world. He tells Mikoto and Shuya that he is going to rely on them to back him up while he engages the dragon. Leon tells them to aim at the dragon's leg from the rear. The moment Leon starts running toward the dragon, Mikoto and Shuya get down to business. They trap the dragon using ice magic, giving Leon the chance to whip out his scythe. Using this, he cuts off the dragon's head in one strike. With this, they conquer the gate, and once the gate closes, they run into Genis, who is already waiting for them. Genis reveals how proud he is that the group managed to exceed his expectations. Leon notices that Genis has taken care of the monsters that slipped outside, but Genis doesn't think this is a hassle. He considers the monsters he fought as easy monsters when compared to the ones the group fought. Just then, Leon tells Genis that he has something to tell him. Since they are going to be closing gates together, Leon and his friends have decided that they want to form a clan. Leon begs Genis to let them take care of the gates. Genis is surprised that Leon and his friends have come together to form a clan of 3 with the sole purpose of closing gates. Genis reveals that students forming a clan hasn't happened in the past, but because the trio is strong, there is going to be an exception. Genis is impressed with the idea, and he tells Leon that he and his friend are free to do whatever they want. He also assures them that they don't need to worry about class. Since he has all the authority, he's going to convert their clan's achievements into their grades. Leon thanks Genis for the assistance, and with this, the trio forms their own clan. Later on, Leon calls Shuya and Mikoto together. He shows them a map, detailing the locations of the previous gates that Leon has closed. He wants them to go through the map and see if they can find a pattern. Shuya is shocked and at the same time impressed when he sees the number of gates that Leon has single-handedly closed. This is when it dawns on Mikoto and Shuya that Leon has been the one closing the gates that no one knew how they closed. Shuya admits that the feat is impressive, but at the same time, it is risky. Surprisingly, Luna agrees with Shuya. Mikoto then mentions the fact that they are all in the same clan now. Shuya lets Leon know that he doesn't have to do things on his own anymore, and Leon agrees with him. Shuya then talks about the frequency of the gates. He reveals that the monsters emerging from the gates are not the only problem they should be worried about. Apparently, magic essence flows out of the gates when it is open. Apparently, magic essence is good for wizards, but it is lethal to non-magic users. Mikoto reveals that there are going to be lots of casualties if there ever happens to be a day when magic essence overflows into the country. Leon then tells his friends that they need to conduct patrols at intervals to make sure that they avoid casualties. That night, the trio steps out to begin their patrol. While walking around, they see some saber wizards. Leon remembers what Genis said about bringing more guys to watch the area closely. Just then, Leon and his team hear that a gate has opened 5 kilometers to the southwest. While the wizards are rushing over, Leon and his team also join in. Upon arrival in the city, they realize that the monsters have done damage to it. Right in front of them, a monster tries to eat a kid. But Leon cuts down the monster with his dark magic. The child and his mother thank Leon for his help, and in no time the wizards from Saber show up on the scene. Leon then suggests that they leave the wizards to do the outside cleanups while he and his team prepare to conquer the gate. Before they enter, they decide to talk to the wizards first. After a short conversation between them, the wizards reveal that they have a team that has already gone inside, but they cannot reach them. Shuya then asks if there is no plan to rescue the wizards, and he says no. Apparently, the wizards have been busy dealing with monsters that escaped the gate. The wizards have also made the evacuation of the citizens their top priority. Leon then tells the wizards that they are heading into the gate. The wizard wants to stop them on the basis that they are students. But Genis arrives just in time, and he tells the wizard to let the trio enter the gate. Genis glazes the team in front of the other wizards, talking about how brave they are. The trio enters the gate, and to their surprise, everywhere is covered in fog, which impairs their vision. Even with this, the team is still ready to conquer the gate. Leon urges his team to give their all since it is going to be their first time conquering a gate as a clan. They soon run into a bunch of dead monsters that the Saber wizards defeated. They continue down the path, hoping that the wizards are safe. Leon is worried because the boss of the gate appears to be strong, but even with this, he wants them to save everyone. As they continue moving forward, Mikoto is confident that they are all going to come out alive, since Leon is with them. Both Shuya and Mikoto are trying to prove their worth to Leon, so he won't be the only one carrying the burden of the team. Meanwhile, the Saber wizards are having a hard time dealing with the boss of the gate. They have tried fire magic and water magic, but the monster is able to block everything. 2 of them get injured in the process of protecting their weakest member. The monster is about to finish them off when Leon and his team arrive. Leon cuts off the monster's tentacles with his magic, saving the Saber Wizards. The wizards are shocked when they realize that Leon and his friends are students. Mikoto assesses the monster and finds out that it is a slime-type monster, and its weaknesses are usually its core. Mikoto and Shuya rush in to try and take out the monster, but it outsmarts them and traps them. The monster is about to wipe them out when Leon is forced to activate his dark attribute magic. Leon's magic is able to free Mikoto and Shuya from the trap they found themselves in. However, the monster looks more dangerous than it is. Leon then takes it upon himself to take down the monster. Powered by his dark magic, he cuts down the monster in one swing. The wizards are blown away when they see this, and they start cheering Leon. Once the gate boss is destroyed, the gate closes, and everyone returns to the human world safely. The Saber Wizards thank Leon and his clan for their help because without them, the subjugation team would have perished. However, Leon doesn't think they need to be thanked since they are only doing what they need to do. The leader of the subjugation team then apologized for underestimating them because he thought they were students. Everyone appreciates the clan's effort, making Luna very proud. That night, Luna tells Leon how big of an achievement Leon has made. Apparently, the Saber Wizards were so happy that Leon saved them that they invited him to join them once he graduates from the academy. Just then, they hear a knock on the door, and when they open it, it turns out to be Mikoto. Leon is shocked to see Mikoto at his door at that late hour. Leon becomes worried, and he asks if there is anything he can do for her. Mikoto's face becomes very red when telling Leon that she would like a moment of his time. Well guys, that's the end of the video. If you like this video, comment part 2 in the comment section. Also subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and like the video. Thank you for watching and see you next time again.